Hi there, it's Mary Blocker from Mary's Card Cafe, and if you're joining me today, thank you. It is that time for a Sunday, simple yet stunning, but in a fun, different way. So, you can see Mary's Card Cafe here. You can also join me Facebook Live each Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific Time. Every Wednesday, I will be there on Facebook Live, and I always do a couple of projects, have some fun with people who join me, sometimes doing giveaways, and it's a lot of fun. So there are so many wonderful things coming up in the January to June mini catalog, and January is that time, January 5th. All of the products and Sale-A-Bration starts, and I am going to be having a fantastic virtual open house. So you can check out the links below. There'll be more information on that. But today I want to share with you this fun little note card that was created with my downline. I did a little holiday virtual get together with them, and I sent them some make and takes, and this was one of the make and takes. And I absolutely love how stunning this card is. It is the Art Gallery Designer Series paper, which is so fantastic, you guys. I cannot get enough of it. It seems like everything I'm doing as sneak peeks is with this paper, and that's okay. It's stunning. I love how textured it is by seeing all the strokes of the artist. But this was our note card size. And I want to talk about how do you take something that's a note card size and then move it up to an A2 size card. And so that's what I want to share with you today. So let's take a look at what I've done so far. So here is my souped up to an A2 size card. Now, what I've done, as you can see, is I've added another layer of that bumblebee. So my A2 size card is a standard cut at 5.5 by 11, scored at 4 1/4. Then my bumblebee layer is 5 1/4 by 4. My Art Gallery Designer Series paper is 5 by 3 3/4. Now, notice my strip that I've gone across has now been measured up to 1 inch by 5, and this is the opposite side of this paper that I'm showing. Now, why do I have that across? Well, I really need to have my eyes be able to really focus in, and if I have just that wide open Art Gallery paper, which has those big designs, I might get a little bit lost on the front of the card. By putting a strip across, you're kind of cutting through that and letting your eyes rest. So that's what that is for. Now what I'm going to do is I'm still using the stitched circle shape from the stitched shape dies for my greeting. But just to have that there, it's a little bit smaller. So I'm going to add my layering circle die that would go around it and actually add a little bit more dimension from the back part of the card. So that's what we're going to do now. And let me show you cutting that out with our mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Now this is a brand new mini machine that will be available January 5th for customers. Now, whenever something new comes out, it takes a little while to play with it, but what you get are your standard plates, as well as for your embossing folders. You have your plate 1 and then 2 and 3. You can see I've been using one for the base, the bottom, but I also am starting to get a little bit of warping, and I want to tell you about your die, your plates. Even on the big machine, you will get a lot of warping. That it will happen because of the roller and the force that's being put on. So there's a few things to know. One is that you can't just always let your plates go through the same all the time. After a while, they will start to warp. So what you should do is after a few times is to just take that plate and turn it over and now use this side of it as it goes through. That's one way, is you just switch them around. Always keep this one on the bottom though, but just turn it over. The other piece is to take them and turn them around this way and have them go through. So there's lots of different things. One other thing I'm going to tell you about today is when we do this, we're not going to place our dies, we're not going to place the die right in the center. It's fine to do it right in the center, but you don't want to keep it in the same all the time. By keeping that die in the same place on your plates all the time, that's going to aid in the warping, and we don't want that. So I'm going to go ahead and take my paper. I'm going to set it here. Notice I'm setting it a little bit towards the back of it. I'm going to put the other plate on top. Now with this mini, just like the standard size, it has this room on the side. Now, when I start to push through, you might notice that the machine isn't grabbing. That's because I'm going to push down a little bit and then I'm going to tilt. I'm going to tilt right here. And when I tilt my plates just a little bit, it can grab that corner and then it just starts running right through easily. Now I need to hold it down because this little guy is light. It is light, so it will pop off that table. All right, so set that one aside. And now I'm gonna grab a scrap of my, that's too wide, a scrap of my Bumblebee. And we're gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna put my plate 1 in. I'm gonna put down my plate 2, but I'm gonna turn it around this time. I'm going to put my paper on, put this on. I like to kind of just pull it all out. Put it on there. Put this one on, this sandwich on. Make sure everything's good. Everything's good. I'm going to put that down, and here we go. It's a tight little guy when it goes through. That's great. You know it's going to die cut out well. All right. And there is my Bumblebee scallop. Let me put this aside. Folds up just like the standard size machine. And just remember the tips about turning over your plates periodically, going in from the other end, and go through the whole revolution through. Don't go back and forth like that. That will cause more warping quickly. So there we go. All right. Let's bring things back. I've been playing with that new little machine. We were able to pre-order it during the pre-order in December, so that was great. All right, Blackberry Bliss is my color here of choice. And I have from the Sale-A-Bration stamp set. I just set it down. Where did I set it down? Here it is. Sometimes we set things down. Here it is, Heal Your Heart. This is a level 1 Sale-A-Bration. With a $50 order, you can get this free. It just has beautiful, beautiful writing and the font. I don't know what I would do without you. Thank you. A lot of combo greetings there. Wishing I could heal your heart. Right into our circle. There we go. Perfect. Oh, I'm going to leave this open because we need to do something on the inside of our card. So let's do that. Open up here, and I'm going to use this. We're in this together. This is so fitting with the COVID issues and everything. A lot of hearts need to be healed with this and everything that's going on. Okay, that's a juicy pad, so. All right, let me glue this with my, sometimes you guys know that you just need to, with your Stamp and Seal, use your little finger and pull up till you get the sticky. Sometimes what happens is you break the strand. If you flick it sideways, you don't want to do that. When you end, you just want to kind of stop it and pull off. And sometimes you just go ahead and keep moving along, and it will start going again. There. Now notice how perfect that scallop is. It just adds another little something. Isn't that great? I love it. Okay, I'm going to put my dimensionals on here. This card's going together perfectly fast. I'm going to go ahead and put my, I'm going to do one more in the middle. Now, before I go any further, I'm going to add a ribbon. Now notice on my note card size, I use the green baker's twine, this really thin twine. That's perfect for the note card, but on this, I feel like it'll get quite lost. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this beautiful woven, it is called the Fine Art Ribbon, And it is a woven, almost like a linen burlap. It's very light, and then it has woven gold strands through it. It is quite beautiful. And that's from that fine art, the fine art suite of products. I'm gonna go ahead and lay this like so. Oh, I just love that gold on there. And then get my little backs off my dimensionals. I'm just going to take and set this guy right on top. And those dimensionals will hold the die cut circle and the ribbon. I wonder if it did. Let's see. Let's pull. Yep, sure did. Well, there we go. We are almost done. But as you know, to be stunning, we have stunning happening with the gold metallic running through there. But we need a little more bling to make it extra stunning on this Sunday. Oh, let's see what I have. I'm gonna go ahead and use my pick tool and some dimensionals here. I'm going to kind of mimic what I have here. There's one there. And I'll put one over here. And I'm going to put one right there. Aha, I like that. So we can go from our note card size, which is beautiful and stunning, but now we can go up to our standard A2 size card, being able to write many more words and wonderful messages to our friends in an A2 size, adding a bit more layer, making sure your dimension of things go a little bit bigger, adding another dimension of a scallop circle behind, and changing our thin, tiny twine into a little bit larger type of ribbon really does help. And so I want to thank you guys. This was quick and easy. Thank you so much for joining me. Remember that there's all sorts of things happening after the holidays, gearing up for Sale-A-Bration, January and February, free products with purchases. Also beautiful, wonderful new products in the January to June mini. Just check out the links below for details on my virtual open house. It's going to be great, guys. And thanks so much for joining me. Until then, happy stampin'.